Hello guys, welcome back. And I apologize in advance if I'm breathing too heavy. And yeah, on today's video, we are gonna talk about learn how to ride, just the basics anyways. So I'm gonna go to where there is more light so you guys can see me properly and all that good stuff. So we are just gonna learn the basics today, nothing too crazy. It is nice, that's why decided to make this video today. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to learn just the basics of riding, nothing too intense, just to get you through the process of your beginner period and all that. Well, first things first, guys, all bikes have different ways of how they handle their clutch where the clutch, where you put the clutch and where the where it engages. Moment where it's engaging, that's all bikes all bikes are different. The place where you can find out of the different with all bikes. So I'm just looking at 219 Yamaha. So the point for the clutch, where the clutch engages, it's pretty different. It's close to the finish point, I think. I'll show you guys in a minute what I mean. Alright guys, we are here. It's a little bit windy, so bear with me if you can't hear me on the audio, but we'll start from the beginning. Alright, so we are gonna mention a couple things. This is the gas tank, and how you access your gas tank is bring your key, put it in, twist and pull up, and if you want to lock it you have to push down, and there you go. That's how you access the gas tank. And with your key you can also access your back seat for most bike anyways. Like I said, this is the R3 and 219 R3, and to access the seat you gotta do like this, lift off and pull back, and you have your two keys. There are some keys that are always on the back. You always keep it here, is it up here, and this one is here, and it has the rubber thing, you pull out. But yeah, for most Yamahas, what I've noticed is you have to use an Allen key to access your battery and all that stuff. Just to get the rider's seat off, you have to use an Allen key to take off the seats. That's what I noticed for Yamaha. I think Kawasaki is when you take off the back seat, you pull some string and the back seat pops off. And yeah, this is your indicator light for the back, for the rear, and this is for the front. Now you use this in case of emergencies, if you want to turn left, turn right, and the button will always be on your left hand side. It will always be on your left hand side regardless of the bike. and make sure you always use that, because most times, you know, cars don't really see bikers. As a beginner rider, make sure you just keep to the rules and all that good stuff. And now you have the rear passenger peg. This is the passenger peg. You bring it down if someone wants to hop in. And I will advise for you to learn first how to ride that kind of stuff properly, get your confidence before you have a backpack. And how they get in is they hold you, put their left feet on the first peg, and hop over to the second one. Now you see that? And that's how they hop in. How to hop off, they hold you same way, you guide them anyways, and they hop off. And that's the rear peg. Now this one, after they are done, you know, make sure you just put this in just in case bike falls, so it doesn't get broken off, you don't have extra to pay, stuff like that. And this is the this is the rider's peg, rest peg for the left foot, and this is for the right foot. Now on your left foot, that's where you get the gears, the change. Down is for 1, slightly up is for neutral, up all the way is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that is just how regular bikes come. If some bikes have GP shift, but they don't come from factory kind of stuff, it's people who modify it, and GP shift is something you will learn along the line. But for now, you just focus on the regular shifting. Down for 1, slightly up for neutral, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if you're riding and you want to go back to 1 or you want to go back to 2, you just reverse of the thing, reverse of what you just did before. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way. Slightly up, neutral. If you're in 2, slightly down, neutral. And that's how you get it. Now this is on your left hand side of your handbar. On your left hand side of your handbar is, but first, before that, we're going to talk about how you hop on your bike. Now to hop on your bike, you walk towards it, you walk towards where the peg, standing peg is, and you grab your lever, your left hand lever, right? Grab your left hand lever and then come closer to the bike and throw your right foot over and sit, and then pull up, straighten the bike, and you can kick your stand up, and that's how you get on the bike safely. I mean, if you get your confidence, you can get it anyhow you want, that kind of stuff. But yeah, now on your left hand side, we're going to talk about all you have on your left hand bar. You have your clutch. This is your clutch. This is the pass light. The pass light, I mean, there's always like signs indicates what they are for, but if you don't know, mostly they'll come, all bikes come mostly like this. And you have your, what's it called, your clutch, you have your high beam, low, high beam, turn off, and you have your horn, and then the indicator light for left, or turning left, turning right, that kind of stuff. And on your right hand side, oops, drop the key. On your right hand side, you have your front brake, throttle. Now there are 2 kinds of throttle. There's like electronic and cable, I think. This one, I don't know what the R3 is, but there always has to be a play between the clutch. If you guys look here, let me see if I get that close. There will always be a little play between, you know, the clutch resting point and the clutch lever itself. Now that's different with the front brake. The front brake, there's no play and all that kind of stuff, because that's your almost 90% of your stopping power, or 80% of stopping power is on your front brake. Now when you go to, you know, 90% of your stopping power, it's 80%, 90 is on your front brake. And with that, you have your start button, and for this bike you have your hazard lights on the right hand side. That's pretty much what you have there. Now, to access, you have your key, slot it in. It's pretty easy, turn it, and then we'll go through all these things to see, so you see the function. High beam only works when you are riding. Now most bikes, when you click the left, turning right indicator button, you have to push in. You push in to cancel. Sometimes you can just tap a little bit to the left or to the right, the opposite way of what you tapped before. But most times it would just be nice if you just push it in. It's pretty easy. And this is the horn: high beam, low beam, pass light, and yeah, and so on. Now, the start button is here. I mean, for most bikes, this indicator light, you don't have it, but on this bike you do have it, which is kind of nice. And as you can see, everything is blinking. And to turn it off, click it that way. To start your bike, and this is to cut it off. If to start it, you push it all the way, and that starts it, right? Now, if you want to turn off the bike, that's how you turn it off. Start it. Again, if you start the bike, make sure your foot peg, your rest peg is up all the way. Make sure it's up all the way before you go into gear, because if you go into gear and the foot peg or the rest peg, I don't know what it's called. How can I forget? And that is down, it's gonna turn off. And what I mean is, I'm in neutral, and now there's a safety mechanism for you not to wreck your, the standard pair. If I put it in gear, you see it shuts off automatically. Now I take it off and put it in neutral and start the bike. And that's how it works, right? Pretty simple. Now on your right side of the bike, you have your resting peg, and with that you have your rear brake. You can see the light, turn it on, you have your rear brake. And we are going to turn it off and keep going. Let's just leave it on. And this is your mirrors, your rear view mirrors, kind of like the car, but this one is the one for the bike, where you see what's behind you. I mean, if you can look back as well. But if you're looking back, you're not just turning your. Now I'll show you what I mean. You're not just turning. Let's say the bike is up and you don't have this, or you don't want to use this. You want to just show the check. If you want to show the check, this is how you show the check. You don't show the check like this, because if you do, the bike is learning with you and you might get into another lane. How you show the check is you open up, you move, open up your legs, show the check, open up your legs, show the check. Real quick. I mean, the more you ride, the more comfortable you get and all that. So don't worry about that. It comes with time. It comes naturally with time. Focus on your mirrors. Focus on using what you have to your advantage, right? Now, going in front of the bike, you have your tires, your brake. Now, this is your brake discs for the front brakes, and the oil, or the brake oil, or what is it called? I can't remember the names. But anyways, it's right there, when it gets dark and all that kind of stuff. When you do your regular maintenance, you just have to change them and all that good stuff. Now, there is more that you have to know. If you want to check your oil, it's right down here. For Yamaha, the R6, you have like a dipstick, but this one you have like something, a see-through glass that tells you. And for you to have, you have to put it on a stand kind of stuff, and then lift it up, and then you see the oil coming through, right? When the bike is upright, it has to be on a level. It has to be leveled for it, for you to know that that is good, right? I mean, there is more to it than just what I said, but I'm just letting you know where you can check it, right? And yeah, and this is your exhaust, and this protects your leg. Is it weird? And this protects your leg or your shoe from resting on the hot exhaust, because when it's hot, it can damage your boots and stuff like that. Now, that is mostly what you need to know, or mostly what an idea of what you gotta have before you hop on a bike. You need to know all these minimal things. The most important things that you need to know are the front brake, clutch, rear foot brake, gear selector, and starting, turning off the bike, indicator lights. Pretty much what I mentioned. You need to know all that kind of thing. And also, before you get a bike, I would say research on it, know the ins and out of the bike, problems it should have, problem it shouldn't have, regular issues with the bike, so that you get yourself familiarized with the bike you're getting, as a novice, anyways, as a newbie. Now we're gonna hop on the bike and show you guys how to like engage, start slowly, same way, hand on the bar, come closer, whoop, and that's how you go. Kickstand, never forget your kickstand. As you hop on and straighten your bike, always put the kickstand on, except if you're just sitting, right? But always form the habit of kicking your stand, because that can cost a lot if you don't remember or you forget. If you've come to a stop, you want to hop off your bike, always remember the kickstand. Kickstand should be your number one friend, because if you don't, you can drop your bike easily. And when you kick the stand, make sure it's all the way locked to the edge, because if you don't, you leave the bike leaned on the because all the weight goes on that stand, the kickstand. Now I remember the name, kickstand. Funny. Anyways, as I was saying, all the weight of the bike goes to the kickstand, and you have to always remember to put it down, put it up, and all that kind of stuff, so you don't have to deal with aftermath of scratching your bike and stuff like that. Now you start the bike. Some bikes have indicator, some bikes have indicator, gear indicator. As you can see with this one, it has, so you put one, it goes to one. Some of them, if they don't have the gear indicator, they have the neutral light, and this one has neutral light and both gear indicator, which is why I said it's a good beginner bike, right? So you put it down, you put down, and nice, it wasn't going in gear, but let's try that again. You click down, remember, click down for one, and then the rest two is because I'm not moving, that's why it's not really working. But put down is one, and then we are gonna, now why I said the buy point of the bike depends on, the buy point of the clutch depends on the bike, is because with this R3, this is where it goes to before it engages, right? And you have to get used to that, as you're riding. This is it, and you move, boom. Slowly get used to it. You don't have to use your throttle for you to even engage, right? See, I'm just rolling, I'm just moving, I'm not doing anything. Now for you to keep up, it's doing 8 kilometers on its own. Now for you to keep up with engaging of the speed and all that kind of stuff, you give your throttle some gas. I'm gonna do a trip around, guys. So again, let's come to a full stop and I'll show you guys. So right now, I don't like the gravel. Be careful of gravel. Anyways, now I've come to a stop and no throttle. I'm not giving in any gas. and then I release my clutch, slowly releasing my clutch, engages, and it's rolling. You don't have to do too much, you don't have to gas yourself out. In this situation, there are sometimes why I say you don't have to, you have to focus on your clutch is because sometimes when you focus on this alone or you're trying to give it gas, you can just flip it back. And we don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to crash your bike and all that kind of stuff. So again, we're gonna try it again. And this time around, we're gonna use our throttle. So we come to a full stop. We're in neutral. Clutch. Always clutch it down, first gear, and just get yourself comfortable with it. Moving slowly, slowly engage. Some bikes now, what I'm gonna say is, some bikes you have to like, if it's an older bike, because newer bikes they tend to like engage without you giving the gas or throttle. Now some bikes, if you have an older bike or stuff like that, you have to give it a little bit of gas, like get to like 10 kilometers, so that you can kind of like move freely. Don't give it too much gas because the little you give it is good enough to make it move.